G'day there everyone, this is the Champ Dog. We're going to get back in there with some MonoBlack aggro. So, let's get it done. Okay, Diki Mono, we're on the play. Let's take a look at our hand. Nice 1-drop, 2-drop. This is always nice to see. Obviously you need to draw into some land, but it looks pretty promising. We'll keep. We're back in the slums of gold after the season reset. We've lost a couple of games to real world problems, like having to concede a game to go do stuff and the internet dropping out. So we're a little bit lower than we would be. We're hoping to make some of that back. Here's my Fabled Passage. Doesn't tell us too much. Crack it. Blue. Ooh, red. Okay, so this could be Reclamation. Okay, this is something else entirely. So far I'm only seeing Rakdos colors here. Some sort of Rakdos mid-range, that'd be pretty dope. Agonizing Remorse is the take here. Okay, Cling to Dust is pretty cool. I've played a bit with that, it's better than you think. There's my tone. Bedevil's nice. Yeah, as I said, Agonizing Remorse is the take. They can play Bedevil to get it back later. But that's... Set them back a couple of turns to do that. Can't disrupt my hand now. And they either need to wait until turn 5 to do it, or if they want to do them both at the same time, or they can't use Agonizing Remorse until at least turn 4, so it's much less disruptive. I assume we see Maze Mind turn here. I don't know if you guys have noticed, again, known cards are being hidden in the hand. We didn't see Maze Mind turn revealed there. So, we can do a 3-3 Stone Coil Serpent, but I think we just push some damage here. This also incentivizes our opponents to bedevil the Knight and not get back their Agonizing Remorse. So we get into 5 here. Okay, Stone Coil Serpent is fine. Yeah, so it's certainly some sort of mid-range list. Plenty of colorless things. So they could be running Ujin, or this could just be to try and metagame against Ujin. So we can suit up Kite Sail Freebooter here as well, so they're both out of Stone Coil Serpent range. But I think I might hang on to that and just kill off their Serpent and push more damage. So this is looking a bit mid-rangey, but it could be a more controlling list. We still could see a third colour, but it's looking pretty heavily Rakdos, which is pretty dope. It's one of my favourite colour combinations. I was playing a Rakdos controlling mid-range list in my triumphant return to MTG in Ravnica Allegiance. Curious to see what my opponent does here. So they do have Bedevil held up. They've missed their 4th land drop, which is unfortunate. So I think at this point I do embrace the Freebooter just to make sure they have no clear good target for Bedevil. So I assume they Bedevil Freebooter here. Okay, they do not. They may have other removal for the Freebooter. I guess the Knight would have done 6 damage instead of 4. Obviously when Maze Mind Tone dies, they gain 4 life, so they get a little bit back there. I'm going to plonk this guy down, he'll get a counter, just keep the pressure on my opponent. Okay, so they could be holding up some more interaction. I'm going to shoot off the knight, discard a swamp. That just got the Dragonfire's Might. Get in for 4. They can cling to dust to gain a bit of life here, and Maze Runner as well. So they are still in it. I think I play this out as a 1-1. Obviously a 1-1 is not very imposing. It just gives me an extra little threat. So they did get rid of my other Demonic Embrace, which sucks. If I draw into a land though, I still have Mobilized District. I do draw into a land. So they bedevil the freebooter, but we still get in for 4 damage. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some drill bits. I'm going to bring in Standard Bearer because obviously Rakdos and that list was playing a fair bit of removal. Paragon seems good. I assume they bring in some Graveyard Disruption. So maybe Gutterbones becomes less valuable. Rankle seems good. Stonecoil Serpent, not as great. I guess it's Bedevil proof. Regisaur. What else do we want to cut? What else do we want to cut? I didn't see many targets for Eliminate. So I might take those out and just lean on the Murderous Riders. I might cut the Gutterbones. I like the instant speed play on the Paragon. Yeah, maybe I cut a Gutterbones and a Stonecoil Serpent. Yeah, it could be I'm trying to overdo my sideboarding. Maybe I'm meant to just keep it as simple as possible. So that first hand was terrible with only 1 land. This hand is very awkward. I'm pretty much forced into playing a turn 1 Stonecoil Serpent to try to activate Drill Bit. Obviously depends what we draw. But yeah, this is not a good hand, but going down to 5 doesn't seem particularly tenable. Dihimono's taking the time over there. Yep, Fabled Passage. I wonder if they're playing Proxer. So if this lives, which is a big ask, but if it does live, I can double Drill Bit next turn. Okay, Maze Mine turn. Serpent lives. Yep, so they're going to scry. They like what they see. Scry to the top. I bet they won't like what they're about to see. Okay, so I think we... Crux is not a big deal. Ujin will be a big deal. Maze Mine Tome is annoying. I think what I do here is take the Maze Mine Tome to stop them getting more scries. Take the Extinction Event to stop them dealing with our board. They play Croxer, we discard a Swamp, take the 3, who cares? They can't play Croxer this turn anyway. So Ujin will come down. See, again, Croxer has been hidden, so it's not just Kite Sail Freebooter that it's happening with. I really do hope they fix this issue soon. And yeah, hopefully we just try to race them to Ujin. Diana, wait for the dead, it's 5.
Seize the day, my minions.
Okay, so yeah, I've also been thinking about, I mentioned like a Grixis list I'm thinking of building. The other direction I was thinking of going was Rakdos, and building with Liliana and Croxa, and just hitting hands hard and fast. So it's interesting to see I'm not the only one on. So it's interesting to see how my opponents built it. Maze Mountain, Solemn Simulacrum, obviously both good cards. So now Ugin's disappeared. So who knows what the hell is going on there. So what we're going to do here is play out our knight. So opponent's holding up something. It could just be Maze Mind Tome. It could be Swift End Murderous Rider. So we're going to make them discard, and we're going to draw as well. Does fill up the graveyard for Croxa, which is unfortunate. I don't have the double red at the moment. Mesmine Tome is dope. It reminds me of Treasure Map, but it seems a little bit slow in this meta, but I understand they're trying to make sure they hit their land drops to get to Ujin. Okay, so I don't want them to have this Maze Mine Tome, but obviously I need to take Storm's Wrath here. So unfortunately we're getting to a pretty late stage of the game, and we haven't really done much damage to our opponent. We'll be able to bring back Croxa next turn, and unfortunately they now have Storm's Wrath back. So we'll hit them with Rancor and make them discard the Storm's Wrath. Yep, so each player discards a card, and I think we just leave it at that. I'm well ahead on board. I don't want to give my opponent the opportunity to draw more answers. So I assume Croxa comes back in, which is fine. We can attack through it. Regisaur trades with it. Knight of the Ebon Legion can kill it and actually survive that combat. Rancor flies over it and can force them to sacrifice it. So maybe they don't bring it back. Maybe they've realized all of that as well. No, I can see them looking over their graveyards. So yeah, we see Croxa here.
Well,
that's fine.
My research has...
We have nothing to discard. So I am going to swing for fences here. I assume they block the Regisaur. Yep. So we are going to pump. We are going to pump again. And we can kill our opponent with Rancle's card draw. Alright. Up against Freddy 313. This hand is okay. We remembered to be on the play this time. I think we were last time as well. So yep, we've done a good job of remembering that today. Okay, Boros. This could be that Boros doggy list. So, I can eliminate this now to stop it saving something later. But I think for now, I would rather hold up Blacklands Paragon. But yeah, I'm assuming this is that Boros aggro list with Alpine Houndmaster and Winota. But I have an answer for Winota, so that's fine. So our opponent gets some card advantage here. So Covert Go Blue covered this. a day or so ago. I think it was played in some tournament or another. So, I was thinking, do I eliminate the Houndmaster? Obviously I can't, it's protected by Savior. Do I flash in to kill the Savior? That seems wasteful. Although, I mean, it's too late now. We've locked ourselves in. I was going to say, the life game would be nice against another aggro deck. And bear in mind, they are running... they are running Embercleave. I'm happy to trade here. So I think we have to drop the Regisol. So we have to get rid of this Savior before Winota can hit the board. As we need to be able to kill Winota on sight, and Doggy Boy here protects him. Yes, that's a silly, silly attack. So unfortunately, I think we have to do like this. Okay, so maybe I just suit up Regisaur and race. And if they have Winota, they have Winota. That's fine. I mean, I think the best hit for them is Alpine Houndmaster. Seasoned Hallowblade's the other one. But 10 damage in the air is going to be difficult for them to overcome. Yep. Yeah, so if you haven't seen this list, look it up. Basically, they're playing that Alpine Houndmaster package. It does mean they're playing some pretty suboptimal cards in Alpine Watchdog and Igneous Cur, but it gives them some nice card advantage that they can also hit off Winota. So they're also running Seasoned Hallowblade. Those are the two big hits for Winota and Embercleave. So bring in our interaction, bring in Shadow Spear. What do we not need so much? So Kite Sail Freebooter is a bit less good here, except that they will probably also be bringing in a bit of interaction. Stonecoil Serpent probably doesn't do too much for us, so I'm going to cut those. So they have Winota, but I think that's about the only multicolored spell in their deck. So I've got Disfigure, got Eliminate, Legion's End is nice, that will answer Seasoned Hallowblade nicely, just as it did for Adante Vanguard. What do I want to cut here? Maybe cut Paragon. Gutter Bones is a bit less helpful since we're on the draw. Yeah, maybe I just cut the two Gutter Bones. Anyway, see how we go like this. Yeah, the basic plan against other aggro decks is bring in the extra removal and just hope that my deck outclasses their deck. You know, Spawn of Mayhem, Regisaur, Rankle are difficult for aggro decks to deal with. This is pretty nice. I'm obviously missing a turn 3 play. Gingerbread! Uncard. Swamp first. Slap down a Knight. So we've got our turn 3 now as well, which is pretty nice. We've got a very nice 1, 2, 3, 4 curve here. That's fine. They're not really developing their board state when they do that. Obviously, Crushy comes down on the next turn. Destroys target artifact or enchantment. We take the Glass Casket here, of course. Winota's going to be an issue. Again, she's hidden. No, Sophia's Savior got hit, but we know she's there. Okay, so Shadow Spear is nice. I could play it and equip the freebooter. He becomes a 2/3. And it does draw out their disenchant. No, I think it's better to just slap down a Regisaur and force them to dig into it. So we see our opponent missed their land drop. That's unfortunate for them. CGB had that issue in his video as well, getting punished with lands. Honestly, this just does not seem like a good deck to me. It has some explosiveness with Winota, and Alpine Houndmaster wears an Ember Thief pretty nicely if you've got a wide board, but you're playing such suboptimal cards with the doggos to get value out of the Houndmaster. It just seems inconsistent, and you know, it just seems like a worse aggro deck than mono red aggro, in my opinion. Okay, this hand is okay. Need to hit some land drops, obviously. Finance mod for 6. It's always nice for us. There's a lot of pressure on Gutterbones to survive here. So this could be the same silly aggro deck. This is a very nice draw. I was going to say there's a lot of pressure on Gutterbones to survive to enable turn 3 Spawn of Mayhem. But we now have 2 options. Okay, it is the same silly aggro deck. So double Legion Warboss is definitely a problem, but we do have an answer to that in Eliminate. Unfortunately, they've got protection for it in Sophia's Selfless Savior, but they may choose to Bone Crush into Warboss. We'll see. But yeah, same deck. Okay, they go to the Houndmaster, okay. So I'm just going to hold up. So I'm not going to hold it up as I'm not playing anything this turn, but I'm going to try to answer the Warboss with Eliminate when that becomes an option. So I could suit something up here, but I would rather get in and develop my Spawn of Mayhem. Okay, so they hit their 3rd land, down comes a Warboss. Has to attack. Okay, so I think to be mana efficient, we kill off the Warboss with Rider. I'm happy to sit on the Embrace. I'm well ahead of them on board at the moment, and obviously Legion Warboss can get well out of band. They may play the Savior now that they've seen I have removal. Okay, they opt to kill Gutterbones. Maybe they'll play the Savior now. They do. That's fine, we take 2 here. Yep. So I think at this point I suit up and just race. Obviously I could kill this and then kill Warboss, but that's stopping me from developing my board. I'm well ahead. They're going to take 8 here and go down to 2. I'm happy to let them have Warboss for an extra turn and just put the pressure on them. Yeah, they've got 2 threats that they need to remove, and I don't think their deck has the capacity to remove them. Yep, that's pretty much a concession. Yep, easy win. So again, in comes removal. And out comes you, and you. Forgot that I should be cutting a land. I was in such a good habit with that a couple of seasons ago, but I stopped playing for most of Ikoria Standard and just lost the habit entirely. Okay, so this hand is obviously stacked, but it's terrible. I have 1 land and it comes into play tapped. It's one of the easiest mulligans I've seen in my life. That's weird. This hand is not much better. I'm going to keep it anyway. Obviously we get rid of a knight and just hope we draw into land. You're not land. County boy. Bit of card advantage. Okay, so not getting a land here really hurts. Yep. See, that's where a turn 2 Kitesail freebooter would have been great. Okay, so this game's over. We got Magic the Gathering. You could argue I should have played that out a bit longer, but honestly there's no point. We're already taking 4 damage a turn. There's really no way for us to come back from that on 1 land. Just wasting our own time. Right, Baptiste. This time it's personal. Okay, this hand is much better. Obviously I'd like to have a 1-drop, but I don't. But this figure's nice. Turn 2 freebooter should enable a turn 3 spawn. So just had to go close another app. So no turn 1 play. Makes holding up this figure a bit worse, but it's not like we had a choice about it. So Glass Casket's a pretty obvious one here. Unfortunately, we just get Bone Crusher gianted after that, but them's the breaks. It does mean they're also not developing their board. Let's try again. Obviously, double Embercleave is not ideal. I would have much rather been playing a Spawn of Mayhem this turn, but you know, that was not available to us. I assume we see the Bone Crusher Giant come down, yep. Still a little while before they can slap an Embercleave on it. Winota here would obviously be horrible. Okay, no Winota, that's good. Glass Casket takes the freebooter. Yep. I assume they attack with Bone Crusher. Of course I'm not taking that trade. A land here would be really nice. Okay, so I was hoping for a land so that I could disfigure into Shadow Sphere and equip. So next turn they can Embercleave. even if we remove something, next turn they can Embercleave if they hit a land drop. So I think my best bet is to suit up with Shadow Spear here and start gaining some life. So next turn we take 5, 10, 11. It's a lot. Oh, they forgot to Embercleave? They forgot to Embercleave. Oops. Seasoned Pallid-Blade. That's not going to do it. Okay, so what we can do here is first of all get in for 5 and gain 5. And then so I want to kill the Bone Crusher Giant. It's the best vessel for the Embercleave. So first I need to get rid of Savior. In their shoes, I would have sacrificed Savior and just taken a Hail Mary of protecting one of my dudes. Doesn't really matter which. Probably the Bone Crusher, because the Hallowed Blade has its own inbuilt defense. Obviously Legion's End gets around that very nicely, so does Disfigure. But if the Savior is going to die anyway, good game. If the Savior is going to die anyway, you might as well get some value out of it. Okay, so we are back up to where we started. Before we started playing today, as I said, I had to concede a few games to internet issues and other things. So hopefully we'll be back up in Platinum soon. Okay, Rubber Soul 2. We forgot to go first this time. So they're on Urian Sky Nomad. So this is probably going to be a Doom Foretold deck. This is going to be a long and painful game, guys. Strap yourselves in. So the lesson from the previous games is don't play that Boros doggy aggro list. It's not a good list. Play red. Play black. Play red-black. Play mono-white even. Don't play that terrible Boros list. So chip in for 1 here. Obviously a 1/1 Serpent's not particularly imposing, but we could draw into an Embrace and suit it up. Yep, piss off to Ferry.
That didn't go according to plan.
So they can cycle to make a 1/1 token next turn. As such, I'm only going to swing in with the Freebooter because it can survive a 1/1 token. And I'm going to slap down a Regisaur. And let them figure that one out. Yep. That ain't gonna help. I mean, it'll chump block, it'll save them 7 damage, but... Wish I had a way to give this guy trample in this deck. We may see a 2/2 Krasis here. We do. I'm happy to pitch a swamp. Okay, so, do we Rankle, or do we eliminate and hold up Blackland's Paragon? kind of like this plan. Oh, so this is a banned list, okay. I kind of like this plan, as it plays around the potential sweeper a little bit better. I'm attacking with all because obviously they're going to chunk block the Regisaur, and it's an extra couple points of damage. So their end step, I have Blacklight's Paragon. Yep. So this could be Time Wipe. This could be honestly just about anything. So no point in me really trying to guess. Nisa, I was actually just about to say it could be Nisa.
Strange and magnificent world.
So if they attack with the forest, I will block the Paragon.
Rise, my elemental friend.
Yes. Unfortunate that we have to discard Rankle there. I wasn't thinking about that when I made my choice of plays last turn. I really should have just slapped down the Rankle. But it's kind of worked out. Obviously I'm not getting through as much damage to my opponent. They're killing off Nisa. They're now back down on 4 mana, which is actually a fair bit of a setback for them, given the current board state. And end of their turn I can start drawing with Fluctuate. Okay, so that gets rid of Regisaur. And unfortunately it will bring back Nissa in a couple of turns. So let's start refilling our hand. Okay, that's very nice. I can play both this turn as well, so that's excellent. Obviously we're going to take the one that we can, but it's also very nice to snag a removal spell. So if they can't answer this, they take 8 next turn. So they are under a lot of pressure. Okay, what do they got? Teferi? Okay, what do they bounce here?
This isn't a fight you can win.
Maybe they bounce the... Okay.
Might be a bad idea.
So if you're ever in that position, remember that there's the play available to you to bounce this freebooter, get back your other Teferi, play that Teferi, and bounce something else, which sets me back a lot more than this. Sets me back a lot further than this line of play did. So they do get back Nissa next turn.
We will meet again.
Here. So they could get back to Ferry, bounce, unlock one of these cards. So I'm guessing they go for Nissa. Yep.
In this land, we are all connected.
So they can Urian this turn. Urian. They can bring back Hero as well, so they're going to go 6 life, which sucks for me, but what do you do? If they do bring back Hero though, I don't think they can play Urian. They have 2, 4, 5, 6 mana. So yeah, they can do one of those 2 things. Now 8 mana. So they can do a little bit more. I assume that's why they were deliberating over whether or not to shock in. Oh, they haven't actually activated Nissa yet, so potentially 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, they have all the mana in the world. I take it all back. Yep, so the Hero comes back. They shock in again. Ryan comes down. And resets Nissa. I can't imagine a world where they... Okay, so they don't reset Nissa. I was going to say, I can't imagine a world where they
true power.
bounce Hero just to get the life gain again. So again, if you are in my opponent's shoes, remember the play is available to you to activate Nissa, untap a land, then play Urian, bring back Nissa. Actually, no, I'm going to shut up because that doesn't actually accomplish anything because it's a tick up, not a tick down. So, this is colorless, so I can't attack with the Serpent, unfortunately. So what I can attack with is Knight of the Ebon Legion. So if I attack with everything, they block this, block here, take 2, Uro dies, they still have... Yeah, no, I don't like it. Okay, I don't mind that though. I no longer have the mana to threaten Knight of the Ebon Legion activation, unfortunately. So we just stay like this and hope they draw badly for 1 turn. They do. Yep, that's fine.
The land fights for us.
So again, we just have to hope that they drew poorly. They do run a lot of land in this deck, so it's entirely possible they just drew more land. Uro is down. And unless this is something that will go directly into their... Unless this is 2 things that will go into their graveyard, they cannot bring it back. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6 mana open, which is 2 Knight of the Ebon Legion activations. So I think, obviously I swing with Spawn. It's going to get blocked by Urian, it's going to die. That's fine. Obviously I attack with Knight of the Ebon Legion. I think I attack with the Freebooters. So that means I could block one of these, get something back. But if they do, then they're letting Spawn through for 4, and it puts them in a pretty sketchy position. I can't attack with a Stone Coil because these are colorless. I'm just going to attack like this. I'm not sure it's the correct play, but I want to see what my opponent does. I don't want to give them the option of this because that's an instant speed removal spell. Teferi, they can bounce something, but they have to wait till their turn to do it. Okay, so yep, they can't resist trying to get their Teferi back. Obviously we activate here. What they don't know is that we have a Freebooter here to snag Teferi back. Another Nissa is fine.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
The land speaks. I shall listen.
So their lands now have Indestructible. They can now bring back Uro, or they could play in other Nissa and bring back Uro. So Uro is obviously a enormous pain in my butt. All the lands in the world now. And still somehow more cards in their deck than we did. Oh yeah, you're right, they're playing an 85 deck. Yep. So Nissa comes down, untaps a Breeding Pool, Uro comes down, they go up to 7.
Really should have seen that coming.
Fight on without me.
They got 1 card left in hand.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
Still have plenty of mana. That's fine. I take the 6 here. Those lands are indestructible, so there's no point trying any kind of shenanigans. Okay, so we activate one time. Still have mana open to activate here. I can't really get aggressive with Knight of the Ebon Legion because the Watery Graves are indestructible. There's no point chipping in just for 2 and sacrificing my spawn at the moment. So we hold back because Knight stops Uro from attacking. And we hope to draw into Demonic Embrace before our opponent draws into something that gets them out of this. Okay, that obviously sucks. So now they get Ferry. I assume they bounce Knight of the Ebon Legion here. And if so, that pretty much knocks us out.
I know my responsibility.
Okay, now they bounce the Freebooter into Extinction. Yeah, kill either Knight or Spawn. Okay, I would have gotten with a Knight, so I'm free to attack with Uro. But either way, I'm under more pressure than they are right now. So we're probably locked out of this one at this point. Yeah, that'll do it. We'll give them the good game. That was a good game. They fought well, fought it back. That was a well-earned win for our opponent. So Drill Bit, very good here. Standard Bearer, good here. Soulguide Lantern, good here. Eliminate is helpful for Teferi. Paragon's not terrible, but it's also not great. Regisaur's a little too bounceable. Freebooter's obviously very nice. I might cut one Eliminate. Stonecoil Serpent is okay, but not terrible. It's Teferi proof, it's Casualties of War proof, it's Urian proof, it's Uro proof. Rankle's pretty good. The problem is all of these things are quite good, aren't they? I might shed a Gutter Bones. The instant speed play on this is nice, but not as nice as a Kite Sail. It's a tough one, guys. It is a tough one. After this game, I will check the article that I got this list from and see what they recommend. But let's cut a Regisaur. Let's just cut the Paragons and a couple of Serpents. So I've done well against Sultai with this list. This is only my second game, I think, against a Bant list. I haven't done so well. This hand is not great, but I'd rather not mull when I have at least a couple of early plays. I'm unlikely to play Serpent for one. Depends what I see in their hand here. Okay. Oh wow, so this is 4 colors and I didn't even notice. It's greedy. So obviously it's Thought Erasure. What a stacked hand though, but they don't have any ramp to get there. There is an argument to be made for just playing the Lantern to draw a card later, but I'd rather try to ambush an Uro if they draw into one. But the great thing about Knight of the Ebon Legion with these activations is failing a Teferi coming down, getting pressures their life total enough by itself that they may be forced into playing Shadow of the Sky. So let's get rid of Euro. Get in for 5. But they can't Elspeth Conquer's Death. The only thing in their hand that will answer it this turn is Shadow of the Sky. Or in their hand that we know of, anyway. Teferi answers it pretty cleanly, obviously. Shark Typhoon. I mean, that stalls it out. So, Rankle is pretty dope. So we're likely to get Casualties of War played against us next turn. I think we just do this. And then if they're Casualties of War, we can draw a card off Lock Twain, which is of course the land our target, and also draw a card off Soul Guide Lantern. We've been fortunate they haven't drawn it to Ferry, because obviously bouncing this forces us to commit a little bit more to the board. So, draw a card. Draw a card. So, our options are Regisaur and Serpent for 2, to try to get them to play Shadow of the Sky. Rankle just gets Elspeth, obviously, but I do believe it may still be our best option. So we're both going to discard a card. Ooh, big snake, okay. So I think we respond to a big snake by playing this guy. I assume we see Elspeth Conquer's Death here. Don't really have anything to bring back, which is good for us. We could see Shadow of the Sky. They're humming and hawing. We've been very fortunate they haven't drawn into Teferi. Okay, so they decide to just go with Shark Typhoon here. We discard Gutterbones because we can get it back anyway. And we get through for 10 here. I don't really want to discard this Stone Coil Serpent. I should have returned this before triggering this. I think we both discard a card. So I'm going to pop into full control here. So I was hoping I would get a chance to do this before any of this triggers. I think I need to go into full control a little bit earlier. So that sucks. I really did want to keep that. But what do we do? lesson learned for next time, I guess. So we return this to hand. I'm not going to play it yet because they're sitting on the Shadow of the Sky. Unfortunately, Shadow also makes them a big old 4/4 off the Shark Typhoon. Okay, to carry, so we get a 3/3. And we bounce. What do we bounce?
I've got time.
Register. Yep. Okay. So I think we go like this. I'm not going to attack in. And I'm not going to play up my last Gutter Bones. So this hopefully incentivizes them to just slap down their Shadow. But we'll see what they've got up their sleeve. Times like this, I wish I had access to something like Shock. Just any kind of...
That's more like it.
Little bit of reach right now would be so appreciated. So they can hold up an instant speed Shatter at this point. This is fine. They can have 5.
We will not fail.
Hopefully we draw something good next turn.
The land shall conquer you.
So they can still play Urian. Yep. Gutterbones gets discarded. Okay, so if I attack with just Regisaur, obviously they block it with 2 things and it dies. If I attack with Regisaur and Rankle, so I need to attack with all 3 if I want any of my things to survive. The problem there is that Rankle dies and Gutterbones dies. And they're still left with something on the board and no incentive to play out their Shadow. Nevertheless, it's the best line that I have. Instant speed casualties of war. Well, what a blowout. Okay, so this is all I have left. I guess the hope at this point is that our opponent gets greedy, doesn't play Urian, attacks in with all of their flyers, and I draw into Demonic Embrace. I don't know what else could possibly get me back from here. Okay, yep. So that's 5, 11, 14, that's well and truly lethal. There's, yep, 6, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I gain 2, go up to 16 and end up on -4. So that's a good game. Again, nearly got there. 2 damage short. Yeah, if we'd drawn a couple of things a little bit differently, probably could have got there, but our opponent played well, fought back, held on. They deserved their win there. So I'm going to end this here. We're at about an hour. Hope you enjoyed watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Stay rad.